This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of E79 Resources, the very, very, very busy Mr. Rory Quinn. Rory, congratulations. How are you?
Very good. Today you're right. It's been an incredibly busy a handful of days around the clock. Very, very pleased to get this out this morning. And there's been a lot of work that has led. It's taken a long time to be an overnight success.
Well, let's get right into it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, go ahead, Rory.
And congratulations to you too. Well, just congratulations to you too, right? For you were on this from the beginning and highlighting this for the investment community. So I appreciate your support, and you guys knew what you were looking at. So
no, look, all the credit to you and your team. We know the region. Let's give some context to those that are listening and reading along here. The headline speaks for itself. E79 Resources drills 11.1 meters of 160.45 grams per ton gold at the Happy Valley Prospect in Victoria, Australia. Among that was a 0.60 meter interval of 2,430 grams per ton gold. You mentioned that we were early to this. We were early at highlighting the potential, which again, it's kudos to you and your team because it's very easy to highlight the potential in this part of the world, right? We know that the grade exists. We know that there's scale, and it's just a matter of finding it and figuring out, in your case, whether or not there were mineralized structures that were below the known historic mining levels, right? And so all of those things is kind of what led us to want to be a part of the story here and help tell it. But this is phenomenal. Congratulations. Good work. Give me some context, Rory. How does this change the approach, right?
Well, let me just recap for those listeners that maybe haven't listened in to our conversations before, Gerardo. But so there's a lot of people working, first of all, in Victoria, and I think you can tell me, but other than Fosterville and Kirkland Lake, I'm not sure anyone has had a hole like this in all of the work that people have been doing in Victoria. So I think this is exciting for the entire region. We're not drilling where we know there's going to be gold, right? This is honest to goodness exploration looking for an exciting discovery. Right. So our first hole was 60 meters below historic workings, any known historic gold mining, 60 meters below that. And we were in visible gold. And we reported that, and you and I talked about it. It was about a meter. And then our second hole, we were in broader visible gold at 80 meters below that. So about 140 meters below any known gold mining, historic gold mining. And there we were in 3 meters of visible gold. And I guess I've heard the people say, well, visible gold, yeah, that's great, but it doesn't always, we'll have to see what the assays say. So maybe obviously there's exceptions to the rule, but surprise, 3 meters of VG is good.
I always joke that I'm not a geologist, but I'd much rather have it than not.
Sure, right. And then you the other just to also put it in perspective, right? You get people will say, well, okay, well that number's ridiculous, right? I did a double take when I saw it from the lab, 2,430 grams per ton. That's silver grade numbers, right? On a good day. And except for silver's worth $28 an ounce and gold's worth $1,860 an ounce. So today, and so incredibly rich, over 0.6. And now, why did we report this as 11 grams per ton? And why did IROC pour over it and their geologists and say this is, and basically all of the geos that I talked to and economic geologists and mining engineers, because you can't go and mine 0.6 meters, 150 meters underground without taking waste with it, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
You can't. So that is why it is spread over a mineable width, but also because we ended that intersection in, I think, 174 gram per ton is the final meter of that intersection, right? I think it's 178 grams per ton
178, you got it, over a meter.
And then only 33 grams per ton over a meter. and then 174 grams per ton, right? And that's where it ends. So we're going to have more information from this hole, right? We've got what I had the guys do when we had this visible gold is put it on a pallet yesterday and get it to ALS, get it to the lab, get it and expedite it. We've got the rest of that to come. Obviously, if we hindsight 2020, we put all of this somehow on multiple pallets, expedite all of it. But we just wanted to get the VG, but we're going to get much more information, and then we're going to have hole 4 and 5. So we're going to be methodical with this. We're going to work to understand all of the assays. We're not going to go off half-cocked. We're going to use all of the information that these holes give us. And these were exploratory holes. We're going to give all of that exploration information the attention it deserves before planning a phase 2. But for context, we're drilling right now at Beaufort. I can redeploy that drill in 36 to 48 hours.
Excellent. And the stock, obviously, the market's responded well. You're up over 150% on substantial volume. Talk to me about hole 2, which, the intercept there was 0.70 meters of 99 grams per ton gold from 94.9 meters down hole. Walk me through that hole.
Yeah, that was the first hole that we had, right? We found we were pretty. On that hole, we might have been lucky, right? You and I talked about that. But when on the very next hole, 80 meters away from that, to be in, we've tended to see that, right? We've seen it at Fosterville, right? These things, and even folks like in the Victorian Goldfields, Mandalay, right? With their mine, it is shown that it gets richer and richer at depth. And so we're just getting started here, totally open at depth. And our first, that was about 0.7 meters of nice grade. But then 80 meters below that, in just one drill hole, we're at, we're obviously in that spectacular grade, but in a section that is 11 meters of 160 grams per ton, including that 0.6 meter at 2,430 grams per ton, including the 3 meters of 136 grams per ton.
Right.
So it's not like all we had was that 0.6 of 2,430 grams. We've got four other bonanza grade intersections, right? So it is that's why I said in the release, this is not a one-hit wonder. It's not just one. It's one drill hole that has intersected gold multiple times, and we're intersecting. If you see the cross section I put in the news release, it's all underneath where this historic mining took place, and that historic mining took place graded about an ounce per ton, right? And that's an ounce per ton is about what Fosterville graded as well. That's their reserve grade at Fosterville.
Assays are pending. Turnaround times. What does that look like?
Yeah, well, we'll get it off to the lab by the end of this week. We've been very busy working on all fronts. Look, I'll know more by the end of the week. I don't want to give anyone dates that I can't support at this moment, but we'll be certainly putting out new news and updates and on our timing and what else we're seeing. We'll put out news on the remainder of hole 2 and 3 and then 4 and 5. Well, and then we'll come back with a phase 2.
We'll make sure to put a link to the release. Some pretty looking rock in there. Congrats again, Rory, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Gerardo.
Thank you.